They tell you to be reasonable. They tell you to think about the kids. They tell you to get a shark lawyer and just play the game. And you nod, you pay the $5,000 retainer, you walk into that sterile courthouse hallway believing that fairness still means something. You believe that if you just present your case logically, if you just show you're a good father and a responsible provider, that the truth will win. This is the single biggest, most devastating mistake you will ever make. You're not walking into a court of law. You are walking into a mechanism that doesn't see you as a man, it sees you as a liability. It doesn't see you as a father, it sees you as a paycheck. The entire apparatus, the judges, the mediators, the opposing counsel, sometimes even your own lawyer, operates on a set of unwritten rules designed to extract resources, and you are the resource. The system isn't broken. It was built this way. It's doing exactly what it was designed to do. But that doesn't mean you're helpless. It just means you have to stop playing their game. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly how to see the machine for what it is, navigate the 3 biggest traps set for you, and walk out the other side with your future intact. The first myth you have to burn out of your brain is that this is a battle of right versus wrong. You think you're going to walk into a courtroom, present your evidence of her infidelity, her recklessness, or her manipulation, and a judge in a black robe is going to bang a gavel and declare, "You're right, she's wrong, case closed." That is a fantasy. The legal system, especially family court, is not a court of justice. It's a court of administration. It is a bureaucratic process designed for one thing: managing the dissolution of a partnership and the distribution of its assets and liabilities. The liability, by default, is the children. The asset is your paycheck, your moral outrage, your sense of betrayal, your carefully curated timeline of her wrongs. It's not just irrelevant, it's annoying to them. It's noise that gets in the way of their calculations. You're sitting there, hands gripping your knees, listening to your lawyer list your assets while her lawyer paints you as a distant, work-obsessed provider who was never really there. And you want to scream. You want to jump up and list every Little League game, every bedtime story, every fever you nursed. But you don't. You sit silent, because you've been told to behave and let the process work. This is the first trap. Believing the game is fair. The game isn't fair. It's not even a game. It's an assembly line, and you are the raw material. The court's primary directive is not justice, it's expediency. It's about closing your file and moving on to the next one. The easiest, quickest way to do that is to maintain the status quo. And in 90% of cases, the status quo is mum gets the kids, dad pays the bills. Your fight for 50-50 custody isn't seen as the loving act of a desperate father. It's seen as a procedural complication. And because you are seen as a complication, you become a problem to be managed. This brings us to the second myth, that your lawyer is your warrior. You're told to lawyer up to find a shark. You pay that $5,000, $10,000 or $20,000 retainer, and you feel a moment of relief. You think you've hired a gladiator who's going to go into the arena and fight for you. You believe his loyalty is to you. This is a catastrophic misunderstanding of his role. Your lawyer is not your champion. He is a repeat player in a game where you are a one-time visitor. He has to have lunch with the opposing counsel next week on a different case. He has to stand in front of this same judge tomorrow. He is part of the courthouse club. You are not. His primary unspoken job is not to get you justice. It's not even to win. His job is to manage your case, manage you, and process you through the system with the least amount of friction possible. Friction costs him time. Friction damages his relationships. Friction is bad for his business. You, raging in his conference room about the principle of the thing, are friction. He'll nod, he'll validate you, he'll write a strongly worded letter and bill you $500 for it. But his real work happens in the hallway with the other lawyer. They're not arguing about your virtues, they're horse trading. Look, your guy is stuck on 50-50. My client won't budge from 70-30. Can we meet at 60-40 with a step down on child support and call it a day? You're not a father fighting for his kids. You're a bargaining chip. You're a file to be closed. The shark you hired is often just a glorified middleman, a broker whose main skill is convincing you to accept the very outcome you hired him to prevent. This leads to the third and most venomous myth, that the temporary hearing is just temporary. You hear this from your lawyer. Don't worry, this is just a preliminary hearing. We'll get it sorted out at the final trial. This is the single most devastating lie you will be told during the entire process. In the world of family court, temporary is a code word for permanent. This first hearing, often just a 20-minute cattle call, is not a preview. It is the whole game. This is where the precedent is set. This is where the status quo is locked in, and the court hates changing the status quo. You walk in thinking you're going to argue the merits of your case. Your wife's lawyer walks in with a 40-page affidavit alleging you're angry, unstable, and a risk. She's not trying to prove it's true, she's just trying to say it. The system is built on a default. In case of doubt, give the kids to the mother. It is a guilty until proven innocent system, and you are the one who has to prove your innocence as a father. While you're trying to prove you're a good dad, all she has to do is allege you're a bad one. The judge, who has 50 more cases just like yours today, doesn't see evidence, he sees risk. And the safest, easiest, most CYA, cover your ass decision for him to make is to put you on the defensive. Father will have visitation every other weekend. Temporary child support and spousal support is set at X $1,000. We'll reevaluate in 12 months. Boom. You just lost. You just became a visitor in your own children's lives, and you were just turned into an ATM. The reevaluation in 12 months. It'll be a judge looking at the calendar and saying, well, the kids have been with mum for a year, they seem fine, let's just make it permanent. The temporary order just became your life sentence. So what do? You've been told the system is a machine, your lawyer is a broker, and the first hearing is a death sentence. It sounds hopeless. It's not. It's just a different kind of fight. You have to stop trying to win a morality play and start winning a game of optics and leverage. You must stop being a man and start being a file. A perfect, clean, irrefutable file. This system runs on paper, so you're going to give them paper. You're going to become the most meticulous, organised, and boring man on earth. From this moment forward, all communication with her goes through a co-parenting app or email. No more phone calls, no more heated text messages, no more just stopping by. Why? Because every single text you send, every voicemail you leave, every word you speak in anger is a gift to her lawyer. You're sitting in your truck outside her house, fuming because she's 20 minutes late for the exchange. You're tempted to lay on the horn to send that WTF text. Don't. You breathe. You open your notes app. 8:12 p.m, arrived at exchange point. 8:20 p.m, still waiting. You take a screenshot of your GPS. You email her. Per the temporary order, I am at the agreed upon location. It is now 8:21 p.m. Please advise on your ETA. You just became a machine. You're no longer a pissed-off ex-husband. You're a concerned father documenting a pattern of custodial interference. See the difference? One is emotion, which the court dismisses. The other is data, which is all the court understands. You must become a ruthless archivist of your own life. Every receipt for the kids, every school newsletter, every doctor's visit. You are building a case, not that she's a bad person, but that you're a consistent, stable, and involved parent. You're not fighting her anymore. You're fighting the narrative. This isn't just about custody, it's about control. And the primary lever of control in this entire system is money. You are walking into a financial trap set with your own ambition. You have to understand a brutal truth. Your work ethic is your greatest liability. You've spent your entire adult life with one mantra: provide. You work the 60-hour weeks, you took the promotions, you built the business. You did this because you believed it's what a man does. You believed you were building a future for your family. Now the system is going to take that very identity, twist it, and use it as a weapon to bleed you dry. You're sitting in your lawyer's office, and he asks for your last 3 years of tax returns and your last 6 pay stubs. You're proud of them. You see a history of hard work. He sees a high watermark. Her lawyer doesn't see a man. She sees a number to be garnished. You think, I'll just work harder. I'll pick up overtime. I'll launch that side project to cover these legal bills. This is the dumbest thing you can possibly do. Every extra dollar you earn right now is not for you. It's for them. You are actively, willingly, raising the financial blade that will be used to gut you. The court's calculation is primitive. It's not, what does this man need to live? It's, what is the maximum amount we can extract from this man before he becomes insolvent? That temporary support hearing is where they set the hook. They will add up your mortgage, which you're paying but she's living in, her car payment, which you're paying, her projected living expenses, which are a fantasy of her lifestyle goals, and a fat retainer for her lawyer. They will look at your gross income, plug it into a guideline calculator, and spit out a number that makes your vision blur. You'll say, I can't pay that. I won't even have enough left for my own rent. And the judge will look at you, bored, and say, figure it out. It's not a suggestion, it's a threat. This isn't about supporting your kids, it's about funding her. And worse, it's about crippling you. A man who is broke is a man who cannot afford to fight. A man who is working 80 hours just to pay temporary support is too exhausted to review discovery documents. The temporary support is designed to force you to surrender. So you are financially pinned. You're working 60 hours a week to fund your own execution. You're paying for her lawyer, your lawyer, her house, and your tiny grim apartment. You are a ghost, hollowed out, existing only to work and hand over the check. This is the point of the spear. This is where most men break. They see the numbers, they realise they can't win the math, and they sign the papers, agreeing to a life of financial servitude just to make the pain stop. This is exactly what the system is designed to make you do. You must understand. Your real job is no longer your career. Your new full-time unpaid job is managing your exit. Every ounce of energy you have must be diverted from earning more and put into documenting more, strategizing more, and detaching more. You must detach. You must become a ghost. This is the hardest part for a man. Your entire identity is wrapped up in doing, in providing, in solving. You have to stop. When she sends the baiting text, the kids miss you. They're wondering why you don't care about them. You don't engage with the lie. You don't defend yourself. You write, I look forward to seeing them on my court-ordered weekend. Please confirm pick up at 6 p.m. Friday. That's it. You are a rock. You are a machine. You are a boring, grey, uninteresting file. Your emotional reaction is the fuel she and her lawyer are running on. When you stop providing it, their engine sputters, but they have one last move. When they see that the financial pressure and the emotional bait isn't breaking you, they reach for the nuclear option. This is the moment the game changes from a financial dispute to a character assassination. This is the silver bullet, the false allegation. You're at your desk trying to close a deal and your phone buzzes. It's your lawyer. You've been served. You've been hit with an emergency protective order. You're to have no contact with your wife or your children. You're to stay 500 yards away from your own house. You have to turn in your firearms. You read the affidavit and the world goes dark. You're not just an angry husband. You're abusive. You put her in fear of her life. An argument you had 3 years ago is twisted into a pattern of coercive control. The time you grabbed her arm to stop her from throwing a plate is now assault. It's all lies. It's a disgusting, grotesque distortion of reality. And it doesn't matter. The order is already signed. You are, in the eyes of the law, a monster, and you haven't even had a chance to speak. This is the final trap, the kill shot. And it works, almost every time. You know it's a lie. Your lawyer probably knows it's a lie. But the judge doesn't care. He signed a piece of paper, ex parte, meaning you weren't even there to defend yourself, because it's the safest bet for his career. No judge ever got in trouble for being too cautious. But let one woman go back and claim he ignored her, and she ends up on the news, and his career is over. He is not protecting her. He is protecting himself, and he's using your life and your relationship with your children to do it. You are now radioactive. You have to understand what just happened. This was not an act of fear. It was an act of strategy. This single piece of paper just accomplished what months of legal wrangling couldn't. It instantly gave her 100% custody of the kids. It instantly kicked you out of your own home. And most importantly, it just completely changed the subject. The divorce is no longer about division of assets or parenting schedules. The divorce is now about you. It's about your anger problem. It's about your instability. Every single dollar in your legal fund, every ounce of your energy is no longer going toward fighting for 50-50. It's going toward proving you are not a criminal. You're now fighting on two fronts, and one of them is a black hole. You'll bleed tens of thousands of dollars on a second legal team, a criminal defense attorney, just to fight the shadow of the allegation. You'll be told, look, we can probably get this dropped, but it'll cost you. And in the meantime, at the real divorce hearing, her lawyer will stand up and say, Your Honour, we have serious concerns for the children's safety, given the ongoing criminal investigation. You're done. You're completely out-leveraged. This is the moment you're supposed to fold. This is when your own lawyer will come to you and say, look, she's willing to drop the order. If you agree to her terms on the house, the alimony, and the custody. And there it is. The real reason. It was never about fear. It was a hostage negotiation. And your kids were the ransom. This is the endgame, and you have no choice but to play it. You will not fight fire with fire. You will not stoop to her level. You will not create your own list of false allegations, because you, unlike them, are still a man who has to look himself in the mirror. You will be the rock. You will document. You will hire the experts. You will spend the money. You will sit in that courtroom, silent, while they paint a portrait of a monster, and you will not flinch. You will not give them the satisfaction of your rage. You will be the calmest, most boring, most rational man in that building. You will be a file, a perfect file. You will lose battles. You will pay money you don't owe. You will lose time with your children you can never get back. You will be betrayed by a system you thought was there to protect you. You must accept this. The win is not winning. The win is surviving. The win is getting your signature on that final decree, walking out of that courthouse, even if it's with half your assets and a quarter of your time, and never coming back. The win is understanding that the entire process was a parasitic machine, and you're finally, blessedly, free of the host. You don't have to win their game, you just have to finish it. Because the second you walk out those doors, you can start building a new life. They, and the machine that feeds them, are trapped in that building forever. The brutal truth is the system isn't rigged to make you lose, it's rigged to make you fight. Because the house always wins when the players are at the table. Subscribe now, because the only way to beat the game is to know the rules they never wrote down.